project, just working to get all those permits finalized, planned once they are done, because we need to submit a significant package to DEP. They wanted a few permits submitted concurrently. I was gonna bring a paper copy to the township for execution, as well as a spare paper copy, so you all have it and can look at it at your leisure, just to go through it. Additionally, the grant, we basically have that finished. The last piece to the puzzle is just some of the paperwork that needs executed on the township's end, the resolution that I believe is on the agenda tonight. So once all that's executed, all I need is a scanned copy of it, or if you want someone from my office to come down and pick up the hard copies or a copy of them, we could scan it. But the H2O grant, that's all submitted digitally, so we won't actually have a grant paperwork to give you guys to show what the grant was, but I'm gonna try to request that the technician putting it together basically screenshots everything, so you have as close to a copy of the grant as possible for your records as well.
So yesterday, Sean made me aware of a contractor on Overlook giving him a call, and I hadn't had time to alert the board of what's going on with that contractor on the Overlook project. Could you kind of explain, I mean, the paperwork that I got last week, I passed on to them, but if you could explain what's going on with that Overlook contractor?
Sure, I sent you an email, I believe, on December 7th,
And they got that one.
along with the solicitor's office, and more or less the situation is, contractor called me, more or less asking, where's my money? I never got the final payment application that I was due. If I remember right, that payment application was approved sometime in March of this year, so, why he didn't get paid, I don't know, or whether he did get paid, the check got lost in the mail. So I believe what I requested was for you or the secretary to look into it, see if a check was ever issued, what happened with that check. If a check wasn't issued, I believe the right thing to do is to get it on the bill pay and get the contractor paid.
What amount was it?
I think it was approximately $15,000. It was the lease of retainage to M. O'Hare, who was the contractor for the Overlook sewer project.
So the prior board approved this payment, and then the contractor never got the payment, is what you're saying. So the reason I'm asking that question is in the likelihood that the contractor did not get paid, once we research it, is that something the board has to make another motion to do?
There's already been a motion to pay, so.
I just don't wanna hold him up, and if he's owed the money, I don't wanna hold him up until we have another
No, I think
meeting.
we just have to do due diligence to make sure the check is cut and what because he may, who knows, we need to see if the check is cut and see if it went through the bank system, okay?
So once I find it, you could always have him call me, but, in the light of that he calls you, you can tell him that we just need to research the meeting minutes for the approval, and we need to research whether or not the check was cut.
Good.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions for Sean or anything?
Michelle, with that, I guess that would address several issues of non-payment by the prior board. There are claims are being made against the township for payment, and there are no records. Bank reconciliations weren't made in a timely manner. Not just this gentleman, Sean, and several others. And they were quite sizable amounts where claims, as I said, were made against this township, but we have no proof.
What paperwork would I need? Okay, so I already researched the meeting minutes, I just have to print them out. It was approved, but, what paperwork would Judy Taylor need to attach to this payment? I mean, for filing purposes.
Well, first of all, you said you saw the minutes where they approved payment. The next thing we have to do is check the check register to see if there was a check cut. And if
And
it,
bank reconciliation,
And-
I would imagine.
right,
So
just,
I'm-
But will I,
But I'm saying, once we determine, let's say we determine that this contractor does need paid, what information do I need to attach to this
Just-
check stub?
tell them to resend the
Audit
bill too, we
analysis?
should have a resend invoice.
It's not a bill, it's a retainage for the end of
They're
a.
retained.
what I would do is, I would put, for accounting purposes, put a memo to that, attach a memo to that check or whatever, saying basically, whatever date, time this bill was approved. Number two, basically that, upon further review, it appears that the check was never cut, or whatever the check is, and just put a memo to the file for accounting purposes.
Okay.
So memo to, to the township, summarizing concisely, I understand, when you do stuff, always be short and sweet.
Well, I know there's pen vest involved, and I
Right.
wanna make sure it all goes in the
I just don't wanna
right
have
file.
27-page minutes.
No, no.
I attached on that email, December 7th, our payment recommendation, which also behind that should have the, their payment application, so the
Okay.
invoice.
If you can
was-
attach that too.
Okay.
Yeah, Michelle, real quickly, Sean, while you're here, I know Mr. Harshman, claimed at least a month or two ago that he's owed an additional $60,000 from a couple of years ago. Are you aware of that?
Correct.
Has there been any resolution on your side made to that allegation that this township owes him almost $60,000 from a couple of years ago?
Sure, so we've been talking with, the prior board and the current board, along with the solicitor's office about this, provided all the invoices. I understand that the township had recently went through them, a couple of the actual invoices were missing, it was just an error, so earlier this week, I delivered them to the township, so.
And Mr. Harshman, under the understanding of everything that we're going through, and because we don't have the information, he is kind of holding on to those, and we're just moving forward with the current bills as they come through, knowing that we have to kind of man our staff before we can really do research on how to pay those, or
Plus-
what they were for.
Plus, I think we have to do the same due diligence to see, when we get situated, make sure that those bills, whether they're paid, they weren't paid,
And-
whatever, we have to go through that, I mean.
And he expressed that he understands that that's going to be a task that we've been handed, so he's not, we're just going along with the bills that we create
Yeah,
now,
I understand.
with the understanding we will investigate those in the future. Okay,